You've created your digital download product, and now you're looking at your product description page, that page that sells your product, and asking yourself, what do I actually need to put on this thing so that people want to come to my shop and buy my products? It might seem like it's a no-brainer that you just add a couple sentences and you're done, but that is not how this works at all. You're smart to take a pause because there's lots of people who would just fill it out, be done with it, and lose sales every single day because they didn't have this filled out the right way. That's why in today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to have in your product description so that your product sells itself on autopilot without you even touching it. Hey, what's up? It's Christina Scalera, and I'm back this week to show you how to sell even more of your digital download products so that we just had another $455 sale come into my shop so that you can have little notifications like that pop up as you're filming your YouTube videos or going about your day, grocery shopping, whatever suits your lifestyle. I don't like to grocery shop, but that's just me. If I look and sound a little bit different today, it's because I went on a mastermind at Yale University and all I got was the stinking COVID. So I'm currently trying not to infect everyone I know and love. I'm here in isolation in a hotel at the JFK airport. All right, aside from sick day fashions, let's get right into it because we have quite a few things that we need to cover as far as your product description goes. The first thing to know is that your product description needs to be super clear and engaging. Like it needs to pull their attention in as they're reading your product description, which is kind of a tall order if you think about it, because here we have someone reading a static page on a website and you're sleeping or, said grocery shopping or whatever, not actually engaging with them, but we need to find a way to make it as if we're having a human to human conversation, sans contact, because that's how you get COVID. A lot of people tend to get really cutesy with their product descriptions when they first put them up. And I know I did this as well, by the way, so I'm not blaming you guys. I know from experience that it can drive sales away and customers away because the cutesy stuff is what our friends and our family know and love us for, but not necessarily strangers on the internet. They don't know us that well yet. And so it's better to be straightforward instead of cutesy, because confused buyers are not buyers. They're never going to buy from you if they are confused or if they have any questions that are popping up while they're reading your product description page. So we want to make sure that everything that we put on our product description page is in plain English or whatever, Spanish, whatever language you want to put it in. But it needs to be in plain language for the shopper who can go through and easily see whether this product is going to meet their needs or not. Now, the way that you're actually going to meet them where they're at without that confusion is to start to look for the ways that they describe things. And one good example of this in my shop was I noticed that everybody was asking me how to legalize their biz. And I literally hate this phrase. I thought it would grow on me, but it never did. And so where I was going out and I was saying, get your LLC set up, or, make your business perfect, or whatever I was saying. I don't know the exact phrase I was using, but it was a lot more formal. And then everybody was saying legalize your biz. So as soon as I changed my product description to say, instead of get your LLC set up, I changed it to legalize your biz. That's when we noticed a lot more sales come in because I was using the language that my customers recognized and were using themselves. This is when it becomes really important for you to know who's buying from you so that you can go and hang out in the same circles as them and see that natural language that they're using to describe the problems they have and also the solutions they're looking for. Number 3, another way that we can clear up that confusion and add to the product description in a really meaningful way is we can explain to the customer how they should anticipate using this product. So that might look like walking them through step by step. Once you buy this product, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a download to your inbox, and then you're going to do this and this and this. Or it could just be simply after you buy the product, there's going to be a set of instructions that comes with it. You'll want to make sure you follow those easy to follow instructions, etc. And that's going to help someone to have more confidence in buying your product because you're already anticipating that they're going to be a little anxious, a little nervous to get started with your products. And you're taking away that anxiety, that nervousness, because you're right there following up, supporting them right away, telling them that that they're going to need steps to get started, and you have those steps to get started. Speaking of which, just as an aside on the back end of things, you're going to want to make sure that these steps are as clear as possible. And this is likely going to take several customer iterations, feedback that you're getting from customers where they're asking you clarifying questions. And then you can see where the steps might be a little bit more muddy to someone who isn't as experienced as you, who is the expert on these products. So you'll just have to clarify those a little bit in the first, 6 to 12 months of your shop and selling that product. And then it becomes a lot easier because you'll get less and less questions every single time you sell it after that. Number 4, we haven't even gotten to the most important part, which is the details of the product just yet. That's automatically what most people try to jump into first and list out. But if we're not supporting our customers and clearing up that confusion using their language, etc., we're not going to be able to get them interested at all in the details of what our product has included with it. This is where you can break down what is physically, I know it's a digital product, but what is physically included to their hard drive. So if they download this product, what happens? They get, a PDF, 10 PDFs. What does that look like? So this is where you can break down, give the details of that. And just as a little pro tip, you can always make the benefits tied to the details here by reminding people that there's 10 PDFs, so you can easily have a niched experience for every single design that you create, something like that. I'm just saying as an example for a product that might be a reason why I justify the 10 PDFs versus if there's just one PDF, I might say one PDF. So it's nice and clean and easy for you to access your digital downloads anytime you need. That's just a little pro copywriting sales tip that I learned a long time ago, is that if you just add "so you can" after that feature of the product, then it's really easy to add the benefit in. And we all love the benefit. That's why we're buying the product. That's a really easy way to beef the details section up without adding even more clutter to the page, and also to just do a little bit of sales persuasion writing in there when you would have normally just said there's a PDF here and left it at that. Number 5, we want to break down who the product is for. So we want to make sure that we use any kind of identifying language that the customer would identify with throughout our product description. For example, if the product is for web designers, we don't want to say, "Hey, graphic designers." We want to say "web designers" instead. If the product is for calligraphers, we don't want to say, "Hey, wedding professionals." We want to say, "Hey, calligraphers." And so we want to go as specific as possible. And I know that's not always something that you can do in every situation. You might need to call them wedding professionals because you are targeting it to wedding professionals more generally and not calligraphers. But if you can get even more specific here, that's a great opportunity to do so. Anytime you can use the language that they use to describe themselves, it's a much more powerful product description page because you're talking exactly to your ideal customer every single time. So if they identify as moms, call them moms. Say, "Hey moms, here's the product you need to blah, blah, blah." If they're therapists, "Hey therapists, this is what you need in order to counsel your patients better." So don't be afraid to use that very specific language that talks exactly to the customer you're trying to reach. And then finally, don't forget that when you get a good product description going, you can reuse that for other products that you create. Now, even though the inclusions, the details about what's included and who it's for and all that, those small little things are going to change, you can still use the basis of that product description or the formatting of it and just copy and paste that into future products so that you can use something that works. And if you really need a template, don't forget I have all of this inside my Launch Your Shop Academy program. Now that you have the perfect product description page, it's time to drive more traffic and sales to your online store. I've lined up a playlist specifically to show you how to do this. In that playlist, we're going to talk about how to grow your shop, get more traffic, more eyeballs to it, and how to have more sales on autopilot. So if that sounds good, make sure you click that. I've just put it on your screen. Next week, who knows where I'll be, but it won't be this hotel room. So stay tuned to find out where I'll be broadcasting from, and I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.